Hello, Matt here. Today we are working on DS3 cylinder head. It's been at the machine shop and all of these, you can see the X's, are leaking. So, could have a machine shop done that? Yes. But as you know, we are all about DIY on this channel, and why spend 100 and something euros on something I can try and do myself? So that's the idea behind today's work. Stay tuned. Now, as you can see, we've managed to get two valves out, and what I'm doing now is just cleaning the ports. Well, they have a lot of carbon buildup, so let me show you from the other side. I really need some better lighting equipment, but as you can see, I don't know how much you can see, but this one has already been done. I don't need to get it perfect. I mean, it's pretty smooth already. But you can see the carbon buildup and shit that is in this port, and you can see the state of the valves. So these two have already been out and cleaned, and they are in good shape. They aren't bent. So what we'll be doing is getting all 16 valves in this shape. And now, if I was a smart man, I would also change, I don't know how these are called, valve stem seals. Yeah, that's it. Valve stem seals should be changed when you're doing a job like that, but haven't bought them, so I guess. You know me, I like to do things twice, so yeah. Either way, they are pretty soft and should be compliant enough. So yeah, we won't change them, but if you're doing a job like that, do change them. As for the head, as you can see, it's already been machined, so that's done. Now let me show you how to take the valves off if you don't have special tools you need. Alright, so we'll be using 12mm socket and an extension that is in a pretty bad shape, so I can whack on it. But there will be no whacking. I mean, there will be, but you need to be gentle with it. Also, some rag, which I will put inside here so that the valve can't move. It can, but not completely. And then I'll use this, and I'll use a hammer. So you have to watch out, you're not hitting the valve, but just the valve retainer. And a few gentle taps. So one is out. The other is still holding. And now the other is one out. The other one is out also. As you can see, these little retaining clips. So there are two of them. And we'll also take this out. I'm setting them all up here. Hopefully not losing them. Now this valve is ready to go out. So this one has already been cleaned. That's a number 4. So we have 5, 6, this is a number 4. And now to show you the one that hasn't been cleaned yet and will be soon. See, they are not bent. That's a good thing. But this one is actually pretty clean compared to the other 3 we took out. There is a lot of carbon buildup on them. So, time to clean it. First up, I will take all this huge buildup. Watch out, this is where the buildup ends. so this part of the valve goes into the guide, so make sure not to damage it, because yeah, that needs to be perfect. This lower part is not so important, but again, as you can see, not much pressure, just a bit of cleanup. Very rough parts to, well, go off. And now we will put this valve in a cordless drill, set low speed. We will use this fine scotch and as you can see, this one is mostly done. We'll write down number 3. And it's ready to be assembled. But before that, a bit of port cleaning. So, well, because of my lighting situation, it's kind of hard to show you this, but what I'm doing is not a very big speed, 80 grit Dremel, and just some very light pressure like that. So I'm not using any pressure practically, just taking off some of the surface. So try and get it, as I said, not taking off any material, just trying to get it as smooth as possible. A little way. It's pretty hard to do this with one hand, so I'll put you back on the time lapse now, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so this is mostly done. I don't know how much you can see. You can see that I did take off some material here, also here, and on the upper side there are some very sharp edges here, so I did smoothen them up a bit. It should help a tiny bit with the flow, but as I said, this is not about changing the ports. And to be honest, the design of the ports, especially these exhaust ports, is like, I mean, you can see it's a straight path, no bends, nothing's mostly in the way. So, well, there are some casting imperfections, and the surface is pretty rough, which is okay for the intake valves, but for the intake ports. Now we'll switch from Dremel tool to elbow grease, my favorite. what you can see, but the ports are done. They aren't perfect. They're far from perfect, but they're clean. No more carbon deposits, and they're a lot smoother. So yeah. Now we are doing the valve seats. As you can see, this one is not shiny, this one is. That's because this one is done. And also the valve. And I'll show you how we are doing that. So this is the next one. First up, WD-40 has a bit of lubricant for the guide and for the valve stem. We will put it here. Only doing fine paste because all the seats are pretty okay. I don't know why they did so much. That's maybe a bit too much, but okay. And what I'm using is magnet on a screw and a drill. So put the valve like this. Now we'll wipe it clean, and we have a pretty uniform surface. Pretty uniform surface, and the same here. So that one is also done. So 3 down, 5 to go. Alright, so as I said, valve seats are done. Compared to what they were, that's very nice. Once again, DIY, magnet on a screw, the one I used before, just remove the head, and a cordless drill. Slow speed, and it works. So most of it is DIY without special tools, as I said. But now we come to the hardest part. We have to put the valves back, and I honestly don't even have an idea on how to do that. But if we figure it out, you'll see. If not, then we'll take it to someone with a special tool to put the valves back in. This will hopefully be a DIY spring compressor. So there is vice, whatever this is called, and we made this. You can see it's cut out, and what this is just a very big door hinge like this. Just cut one side, made an opening. We are going to weld it and hopefully get the springs compressed. So this is it. All the valves are assembled. All the ports are cleaned and polished a bit. And as you've seen, all the valve seats are also done. So intake side is finished. I won't be showing the exhaust side, it's the same thing. So that's it. That head is ready to go on the car. But before that, we need to wait for the parts. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a like, subscribe. Because after all, you have to see us put the car back together, hopefully, and turn it on. Well, we'll see about that. But for now, thank you for watching, and as always, hope to see you in the next one. Bye.